Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Comic Cave. Do we have a banger of a show for you today? I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible because we have part 2 of our DC key issues, but it's also been a really interesting week in comic news. So stick around and I'll be right back after the intro. Hey everyone, I'm excited to get into that second part of the DC special issues that I have prepared for you. But first, let's start with the news this week. I was sad I missed out on the Amazing Spider-Man M&M issue 1 variant that went live on M&M's website, and they were all sold out in under a minute. And then, of course, within minutes of that, you saw copies going up on eBay at 10 times the price, which makes me a little sad. People aren't buying comics for their collection, but rather for the quick flip, like NFTs. True fans who wanted them didn't get a chance to get them, but I guess that's also the nature of the current comic market. Signed copies originally sold for about $313 and normal for $33, but I certainly won't be paying the aftermarket prices for this one now. In other news, Donny Cates has left the Hulk run, but he has teased a new insane Marvel project. It seems like a few characters this week have gotten updated looks and new costumes. Spider-Man's evil clone shows off his new Wicked costume on the cover of issue 14. So this is Chasm and looks more like a color swap to me. And then we have the new Catwoman in her new suit. Now check out this cover. What do you think about it and the new costume? Natasha Irons, the daughter of John Henry Irons, has a new Steel costume. I like this one, but I've always been a Steel fan ever since the Reign of Superman run. I think that was in the 90s. And finally, it looks like Superman and his son, while their secret identities are being restored in DC Comics. I haven't read this run yet. I have them, I just haven't found time to sit down and read them and catch up. Lots of the stories I get are from CBR.com, so if you'd like to check out more of the stories and read up on any of them, I suggest you go check out the site. It's a really good site and pretty reliable. Now, on to part 2. So these are the DC comics that I would personally look at getting if you could find them cheap. Last week I did a few of my favorites and there were just too many, so I had to carry some over to this week. So first off, we have one of my grails, Brave and the Bold, issue 28. Now, this is the first appearance of the Justice League. It's an iconic cover that's had just so many cover swipes. The team consisted of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. It came out in 1960, and even with the current price corrections, issues like this just don't take a hit because everyone wants one in their collection. It's also the first appearance of Starro the Conqueror. As many of you can see, this issue isn't in high grade, but as I always say, low grade is better than no grade. The next one up, which I guess is related, is Justice League issue 1, also from 1960. Now, not only is this the first issue of the famous run, but it's also the first appearance of Despero. He's another heavily underrated villain. I loved his battle against Lobo in the 90s. Again, prices of this one has stayed relatively stable because it's just one of those iconic covers and issues that will always be sought after. Now, the next one is a Golden Age DC key that you often don't see floating around. And it's Sensation Comics 68 from 1946. So this one's hard to find in any grade. It's the first appearance of the Huntress, Paula Brooks. She's from the Golden Age, and she later becomes the Tigress. There's only one copy available on eBay at the moment at a ridiculous price of like $5,000, but I'm sure you'd be able to negotiate it down if you really wanted it. Talk about classic covers. The next one is instantly recognizable. Just make sure you don't buy a replica or facsimile because there are loads of those around. This is Detective Comics 359 from 1967. It's the first appearance of the original Batgirl. That's Barbara Gordon, daughter of Police Commissioner Jim Gordon. And it's also the first appearance of Killer Moth in the Silver Age. Prices dropped a bit at the beginning of the year for this one, but I'm guessing that was possibly when the Batgirl movie was cancelled by David Zaslav, but they're picking up again. In the past few weeks, we have heard quite a bit about, news on Green Lantern and the 90-degree turn they did when they cancelled the previous script and started writing a brand new one focused on John Stewart. But this is Green Lantern issue 59, the first appearance of Guy Gardner. Probably my favorite Lantern, purely due to his cocky attitude and his fights with Lobo and Legion. This came out in 1968. Now, for the bigger comic is Green Lantern 87. That came out in 1971. It's the second appearance of Guy Gardner, but more importantly, the first appearance of John Stewart. He's the first Black Green Lantern. This one, I can just see it continue to jump in price for many years to come. It was actually quite a thick issue, and it was square bound, so finding a high-grade copy is often quite hard. I know we've talked quite a bit, and it's taken a lot of time, but there are only 2 issues left, and I think they're quite undervalued. So this is Charlton Comics, and it was printed in 1966. It's Judo Master 89, and the first issue of Judo Master. If you watch the series Peacemaker, Vigilante and Judo Master stole the show, and they were both supposed to get off their own spin-off series. I'm guessing with James Gunn now heading up DC, we could see that happen, or we might see them integrated into DC in some way. So just a heads up, because you can get these for around $20, and I think it's worth a gamble. And finally, All Star Comics presents 58. Now, here's the competition. If you can tell me what's special about this issue, you get entered into the draw for next week or the week after. I think that book's a solid pick, but just tell me in the comments below, is it the first appearance of a famous character? And you could win one of these Heroes and Villains fan shirts. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy it. There might not be an episode next week because the newest member of our family might have made her first appearance. But thanks, everyone. I hope you have an amazing week. Remember, geek responsibly, and I'll catch you on the side of the flipping. Okay, bye.